Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So let's see how many of you are here, and if you're around and watching this, do leave a comment. Okay, so today is day 6 of my Am I hearing an echo? Yeah, so today is day 6 of my one video a day for a week challenge. But this is going to be extended because I think I'm slowly getting used to posting at least a video a day. And so I'm definitely going to extend this by another week or maybe even more. I'm not sure about that as yet. And but today was a very, very, very long day. I really wasn't able to record anything. I had too many things to complete. And moreover, I had a terrible headache, severe headache since morning. And I actually took a nap in the afternoon just to get rid of the headache. But when I woke up, it only seemed to have, increased more. So then I had to take a pill to reduce the pain. And then I wasn't in any mood to record something. So I just thought, let's do an impromptu live Q&A session for all of you, just to make sure that if you have any questions, I decided to answer any questions that you may have about India and our culture. A lot of people, when they meet me, do have a lot of questions about India. Everything to do with uh, our religion, the languages that we speak. A lot of them don't even know that we have so many, many languages. They always think that we're all Hindus. They always think that we only speak Hindi and, things like that. So if you have any questions, whenever you all join in, you can ask me. I know there's just one of you, and I don't know who that one person out here right now is. So if you want to say hi, then it'll be nice to know that there's someone listening. Okay. So today is day 6. I was thinking whether I should do another reaction video or if I should do some other, if I should do just any other content like a cooking video or etc. etc. And a couple of suggestions that I got was that if I extend it to another week, then I should do reaction videos alone for the entire week, than going into other things like that, or the try not to cry or try not to laugh or funny videos, etc. Just focus on reaction videos for an entire week. If you think that's a good idea, just leave a comment and also tell me if you have any suggestions. I have loads of suggestions with me right now, but it'll always be nice to react to something that someone suggests me on a live session. So if you want to give your suggestion, go ahead. I won't bite you if you write a comment out there. Thanks for joining, Biba. No matter how difficult it was for you to join, thank you very much. ஸோ நம்மளுக்குள்ள இன்னைக்கு உங்களோட பேசினது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஜாலியாக இருந்தது. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். It's funny, I've never spoken in Tamil on this channel. Yeah, a video a day keeps boredom away. Very true. So true, right? But normally I have a couple of others who actually join, but today's video, I just decided out of the blue that, okay, today I am going to post something, but it's just going to be a live video. Hi, Matt. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Okay, is that a song? Dokken and Dreams. Let me take it down. And which, I'll have to look up who it was sung by. Dokken in My Dreams. Thank you for joining, Matt. Okay, I have that on me. And since today's video is a live Q&A about India and about my culture, if you want to know anything at all, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Okay. So Vibha, I hope you would be able to stay for more than 15 minutes as promised. Matt, where are you from? Now this is more like me asking your questions and you're answering. Thank you. Okay, so since I don't have any questions coming my way, I'm going to be answering just a few questions that I always get when I meet people who are not from Chicago. Nice. I have a couple of friends who live in Chicago. Great. So I always get this question, why do we wear this red thing on our forehead? Now, usually it's a red dot that's symbolic to women in India who wear this. In fact, I don't, if you notice my older videos, I don't wear this very often as a custom or as a practice. I don't actually wear my red bindi always. In fact, ever since my childhood, I was always a rebel to not wear it because I never understood the meaning, or nobody really gave me the meaning of why we were wearing this bindi on our forehead. My parents also never really told me the actual meaning, even though my father would always say, you know what, wear your bindi, wear your bindi, wear your bindi. And I would just be a simple rebel and say, yes, I will wear it, but I never wore it much. And even now, I don't wear it much simply because, you know, it's not that I don't feel comfortable, but I do wear it once in a way when I wear something nice, or if I'm completely in an Indian attire, that's when I wear my bindi. So a lot of people then ask, so does it mean it's only the married women who wear the bindi? But it's not that way. All girls, most girls, following Hindu culture. So it's primarily a Hindu custom. People following Hindu religion are the ones who normally wear bindi. And the bindi, it's usually a red dot or something like this shape. These are the primary ones that we wear. But these days, it's a lot of it has changed. A lot of it is taken over to a style quotient wherein people wear it because it's a fashion statement, and there are ethnic ones, there are designer bindis, a lot of it has changed. But we primarily wear it. They say that Hindus believe in bringing out the eternal soul from within. And they also believe that this acts like a third eye. There are various beliefs as to why we wear this bindi. So apparently there are these beliefs where they say that wearing a bindi on the forehead, ideally out here, it evokes some sort of positivity, and also it acts like a third eye to understand what the spirituality around you, and brings out the eternal soul from within and things like that. So if you read into detail, there are lots that you can actually read about this. And it's not true that only married women wear the bindi on their foreheads, but it is the married women actually wear something called the Sindhur, which is a line worn on their forehead with a vermilion powder. So that's not so common these days, unless it's your wedding or it's someone else's wedding, you're attending a function, etc., etc. Thank you, Robert, for joining. So that's the reason that why we wear bindis. And it's called a bindi in Hindi. In Tamil that I speak, we call it the pottu, P-O-T-T-U. And today I wore it because I knew somebody would come up with this question, but since you all didn't ask anything, I decided to answer it myself. Sri Lankan culture. Vibha, Sri Lankan culture. Well, even though my mother is from Sri Lanka, I don't quite know about a lot of their cultural beliefs, but it's more or less like the Tamil culture. and my mother's not a Sinhalese, she's a Sri Lankan Tamil. So most of our practices do go hand in glove, Indian Tamil culture and Sri Lankan Tamil culture. But just for the fact that the only thing that's different is that I think sometimes Sri Lankans can be more religious, or Sri Lankan Tamils especially, they're more religious, and they follow a lot of their roots and their beliefs in a very strong way. More than even Indians. I mean, I guess, especially the ones that are in the city, that are born and bred in the city, we are kind of losing all our traditional values and beliefs, and not a lot of us follow a lot of things that our parents did. But Sri Lankan Tamils are a bit more very, very cautious about that, and they do follow a lot of things till date. So I don't think that answers your question. That's simply because I don't know so much about Sri Lankan Tamil culture, even though my mother's one. No, Robert, don't say that I'm married. So unmarried women, single women, little children, teenagers, everyone wears, it simply says that you are a Hindu by birth and you follow Hindu religion, even though it's not only the Hindus who wear the dot. It's also, these days, it's just a fashion statement. Everyone wears, even Christians in India, some of them wear. In fact, I've seen even people following Islam, some of them, very rarely, very, very rare, do wear. And there are Sikhs and there are Jains, everybody wears. It doesn't mean that it says that you're married. And in fact, if you wear a unmarried, let's say it says a widow, if a widow who's lost her husband wears a bindi, then they would most probably not prefer to wear a red color bindi. They would rather go for a black color bindi. So black is also to ward off the evil eye and things like that. So in general, we also wear a black dot when babies are born. Then there's a black dot kept somewhere on their cheek or somewhere, just to ward off evil eye. Yes, Vibha, you're right. In fact, in our earlier times, men also wore bindis, the red bindi, the red dot. Even till today, if there's any function, religious function, then the men do wear the red dot as a practice. Even though over the years, so many years, hundreds of years, the men have stopped wearing the red bindi, but the women continue to wear, and married women primarily wear the bindi and the Sindhur, primarily praying for the long life for their husbands and the well-being of their husbands. So we do a lot when we're married. I guess we do tend to do a lot for the good living or long health, long span of life for our husbands. Robert, we are very, very tolerant people, so I don't want to talk ill about another religion. So in fact, I wouldn't term a particular religion, but we as Indians are quite tolerant, at least as far as I know, and from the people that I interact with, we're quite tolerant to all religions. End of day, we are just, everybody has the same red color blood that's running inside us, whether we are dark or fair, or we have chinky eyes or big eyes or black hair or blonde hair. Everyone has the same blood running. So, and all of these religions are just created to have some sort of system in your life or a discipline in your life. So I personally, I think I'm quite an agnostic. I wouldn't say I'm an atheist. I always thought I was an atheist, but I don't think I'm an atheist. I think I'm more of an agnostic, and but I do follow a lot of, since my family follow a lot of Hindu religion, customs and traditional beliefs, then I do tend to follow them, and I'm quite tolerant. I do visit the temples, I do visit the churches, and wherever, I don't say no to anything. Meditation is key. Yes, a lot of them do meditation. I think meditation and yoga, in fact, these days it's a sought after activity that people resort to more than going to a gym. I think a lot of people have realized that meditation and yoga gives them much more spiritual um, um, relaxation and a holistic way to a better life. I think a lot of people gain out of attending yoga. I've never done yoga other than during school days. We used to have a couple of sessions of yoga, but not too much. So, in fact, another friend of mine has been trying to coax me into doing yoga and join yoga along with her. And I've just been sort of, I want to take it slow, and maybe someday I would get into doing that as well. So is America 911, Orlando, Boston bombing, some religion just bring out the worst in people. Well, we don't know what really went there. Yeah, I don't want to talk about religious politics here, Robert. You know that. I somehow don't like to engage in that conversation because it always ends up, each one of us have different ideas and different views about certain things. So I'm not trying to be politically correct, but all of us know what really happened. All of us know what went wrong there. And I guess I also believe in the karma. Like in India, we believe in karma. So you do something wrong, it's going to come back to you like a boomerang. Yeah, and it's sad. It's not a nice thing to do such things. If that's the case, we have to name a lot of historical events in the past: World War I, World War II, the Pearl Harbor, the bombing of Hiroshima, etc., etc. A lot of such events we'll need to go back in. And if you have to go back into history and start digging the past, we're never going to be moving forward. So yeah, move forward with a positive thought. Yep, I understand. So Matt, that's extremism, not the religion itself. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Matt. I think I missed out. I should have seen your message earlier. What's extremism? Or are you referring to Roberts? If that's a response to Robert, then yeah, I guess, yeah, in a way it's extremism. Yes, I guess I agree with that. Sari, Vibha, is it exclusive in India? No, Sari is definitely, I don't think we can say that Sari is exclusive to India because Indians or Sri Lankans, Singaporeans, Malaysians, Indians who've settled in Singapore and Malaysia, a lot of people wear saris. And also people living in Canada, a lot of them who lived in Canada, who moved to Canada, the UK. I wouldn't say that it's exclusive to India because even Sri Lankans wear sari. And Sri Lankan Tamils wear a sari just the way we wear the 6 yards, whereas Sri Lankan Sinhalese wear their sari a little different. It's more like a Kurgi style, I think, a Kurgi sari. So even in India, all of us don't wear saris the same way that you would actually see. Like, for example, I have worn two different kinds of types of draping a sari. One is the 6 yards and another is the 9 yards. So the 9 yards is typically worn by a specific community in India and not by any other community. And the 6 yards is worn by everyone else. And certain communities, people from Gujarat wear their saris in a typical manner, and people from Maharashtra wear their sari in a particular manner. People from the south in Mangalore, like in Karnataka state, people wear their saris in a different manner. So there are different styles in which you can drape. And thank you, Vibha, for bringing that question. So maybe, I think I've done one video. My Diwali video was in a sari where I wore my new sari, my Diwali sari, and I recorded a video. So if you want to go check it out, it's there in my videos, which was posted, I think, in the month of November 2019. So if you want to see if I made a fool of myself wearing a sari, you should check it out. And it also talks about our festival in Diwali, which is our festival of lights, where we burn crackers, we light up lamps, we make so many different varieties of sweets distributed among neighbors and friends and etc. Arispan. I don't know if I got your name right. Welcome to my channel. And why don't you tell me where you are from? And Robert, if I were to go to India to find a mate, where's the best place? Oh, come on. I told you this last time itself, I think in my first video or the second video. India is huge. So India is huge in terms of land area. We're the largest, seventh largest. And in terms of population, we are the second most populous country. We have about 1.38 billion people living in India. And to find a mate, meaning if you're referring to a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I don't know, whatever it is, you'll have to really look hard. It's not so easy. It's just like any other country. You can't just like that go and find a partner for yourself, right? And in India, every state is different. We have about 29 states and 28 or 29, correct me if I'm wrong, there are 29 states and there are about 8 union territories. We also have an island, Andaman and Nicobar Islands in the Bay of Bengal. So we speak different languages, we eat different cuisine, our mannerisms are different, we speak, our dialects are different, and our beliefs are different. We probably follow the same main religion, but our subsect. So Hindu, if a person is a Hindu, doesn't mean everything remains the same. Hindu is primarily divided into 4 segments. One is the Vaishnavism, then we have the Shaivites, Vaishnavites, Shaivites, Shaktyites, I think, and then the Sharmites. Yeah, there are 4. Smartites, something. There are 4, wherein one believes in Lord Shiva, and one believes in Lord Vishnu, who's supposed to be the creator. Lord Shiva is the destroyer of evil. And then the Shaktyites believes in the divine goddess Durga, the Shakti. And then there's another one which believes in almost every god. So we believe in a universal power, but again, the universal God has actually created his little helpers in the form of other gods, wherein they are into different subsects. So it's funny, we all follow a lot of different things, and and we speak different languages. There are about, like I said in one of my earlier videos, there are about 2 official languages, Hindi and English, and then there are about 22 recognized languages under the Indian Constitution, which has been recently added, 22 recognized languages, and I speak one of them, which is Tamil. And there are approximately about 200 to 220 languages and dialects that are spoken in India. I don't even know most of them, but there are, and it's huge. And I'm here to learn how to make chicken korma. I promise to do one day chicken korma for sure. And I'll see if I can, I doubt if I can make that into a live video, but I'm going to try one live cooking video. But I will make chicken korma and post it as a video for sure. Cyprus, I don't know if you know, of course I know Cyprus. Nicosia is your capital, right? Or am I wrong? I think Cyprus is Nicosia. Not even a million oh, I wish I could stay somewhere where there isn't a million. My city has about 8 million people, approximately, or 7-8 million, yeah. Is there like a place where the girls marry anybody that asks? Robert, welcome to 21st century. We're in 2020. Right now, no, I don't think there are girls that would marry anybody that asks, but of course, you never know. I live in a city, it's a big city. So out here, I wouldn't think anybody would just, especially ladies, girls of this generation, definitely are a much smarter lot than girls from my generation. And of course, even in my generation, I don't think we ever we would marry anybody who would come and ask our hand, even though we've all made our mistakes, we've all understood from our mistakes and learned from it. But yes, Robert, if you really, really want to see an Indian woman, then you really have to try hard. But I think the rule is common to all women across the world, all men across the world. Don't jump into conclusions. Don't jump into relationships. Get to know them, understand them, and then figure out. Yeah, don't just jump into relationships. That's something that once bitten, forever shy is for me. I never learned my lesson in a long time. Okay, so next question, Lakshadweep. Yes, Vibha. Andamans. Okay, we're talking about India. So India is this huge country, seventh largest in terms of area, and we are surrounded by water on three sides, which means India is a peninsula. We have Arabian Sea on the southwest, Bay of Bengal on the southeast, and Indian Ocean in the south. So I'm in the southernmost state of India. There are two southernmost states, and I'm on the southeastern state. And my city is Chennai, where we are a coastal city, and we have the second longest beach in the world and things like that. It's a nice city, has its own beautiful heritage and history and all of that. The city by itself is about 350 years old, and apart from the water bodies that surround India, in the northwest, we are surrounded by countries like, we're surrounded by Pakistan in the northwest, we're surrounded by China, Nepal, and Bhutan in the north. And in the east, we are surrounded by Burma, Myanmar, and Bangladesh in the east. So prior to 1947, which is when we got our independence, Pakistan and Bangladesh were together with us. And then Jinnah from Pakistan and Mahatma Gandhi from India, they both decided that these are to be two separate countries, and that's how the partition happened. I don't agree on that decision ever. I don't know why. So yeah, that's a bit about our borders, and we are very close to Sri Lanka and also Maldives. So Matt, that's a Greek god. Okay, so if I were to get behind a goddess, is to go to Athena. Yeah, please do it, and keep me posted, Robert, if you ever find that Greek goddess. Do people there support Bollywood as much as I think it's popular? And of course, people are crazy about movies. In India, people are super crazy about movies. Indians love to entertain. They love being entertained. I think Indians love comedy as well. They love dancing. Not they, we love singing, we love dancing, we love having fun, we love comedy, we like laughing, we like everything to do with fun and being entertained and to entertain as well. So movies have been a very integral part in every Indian's life, I guess. So movies and dramas have really created an impact into our everyday life. So if you see, our movies are not a lot of movies are very practical. You would see people running around the trees, dancing and jumping and doing all kinds of acrobatic motions that you wouldn't otherwise do in your real life. But it's a way of being happy and staying happy. So we do love Bollywood, and that's just not Bollywood. Bollywood is just Hindi movies. We have Kollywood, which is Tamil movies. We have Tollywood, which is Telugu movies. We have Mollywood, which is Malayalam movies. So Bollywood, Kollywood, Mollywood, Tollywood. So I don't know how many more woods are there, but yes, Bollywood is the most popular Hindi movies. I do watch Hindi movies from time to time. And I'm not such a movie buff, but this lockdown period, I think I watched more movies and series than ever. Otherwise, I don't even switch on the television. I don't personally watch television. But the last 1 month has been really super busy. I haven't even had the time to watch Netflix. That's the truth. So yes, we do support Bollywood. And yes, we also like Hollywood, but our love for movies as such is very universal there's also a chunk of people, I wouldn't say a chunk, but a large chunk of people these days who are also resorting to a lot of foreign movies as well. A lot of us, like I, including myself, I love watching Korean movies. I love watching Chinese series. I love watching Spanish series. I love them. I also like, from time to time, I like French movies. Do I know all these languages? Absolutely not. I don't believe watching a movie or watching any movie music requires you to know the language. I think music has a universal language you can understand even if you don't understand the real lyrics. And the same way it's to do with movies as well. And these days, a lot of these movies and series come with subtitles, so over a period of time, you do understand what they're trying to say with their actions. Sorry, but I already got a god. I was referring to mythology, more interested in Greek than Indian myths. I don't know anything about Greek mythology. I really don't know. I haven't even read much about it. Even Indian mythology is just on whatever little that I know. I don't know so much even about my own mythology. But if you do know anything, please feel free to share it with me, Robert. I would definitely love to learn if there's something nice to know or just to even know. Melodrama too. Yes, a lot of series and melodrama. Yeah, and we have a lot of these mega serials that goes on and on and on forever, 4 years and 5 years. There are some serials that just go on. I don't know if it's the same way in other places as well, but Indian mega serials can just go on, and the actors and actresses still remain the same. Dollywood. Dollywood is country girl. Okay. I haven't heard of Dollywood, but let me go look up Dollywood. In America, we learn about Greek mythology when we are kids. Why is that y'all learn about Greek mythology? I'm intrigued. Is it because of the history? I guess so. Percy Jackson's here. If you're interested in Greek myths, check out the Odyssey, a Greek myth. Okay, thank you. I'll check out Odyssey. Odyssey. Okay, I have it. Greek mythology stories. Okay. I think as kids, when we were kids, yeah, we did learn a little about Indian mythology. We read quite a lot about Indian mythology, but about other mythologies, Veba, do you remember? No, I mean, we did study a little about European history and a bit about Egyptian history, but Greek, no, I don't quite remember. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Friends. I haven't watched Big Bang Theory. All of those are on my list, though. Okay, if I were to do a reaction series for Game of Thrones or something like that, what would be your best suggestion? I have, in fact, agreed that I would do Game of Thrones someday, but I'm still thinking about what to start with. I don't want to start just anything. I want to start something that the people would really be willing to watch. So if you have any suggestions on series that I can watch and actually post my reactions on my channel, please let me know. You know, there are about 8 of you here, and there are about 3 of you chatting out here. The others, don't feel shy. I won't bite. I know it's over 30 minutes, and if the conversation is interesting, I don't normally restrict to a particular time. I just go on and on if you have the time. That's the reason we don't. Oh, yeah. That makes sense, I guess, Robert. The Lord of Rings movies. Yeah. Okay. Do you all have any other questions? Or what else can we talk about? There's silence. I don't like silence. Did you check out Tolerant? No, I haven't. Whatever it is, let me check. I've always wondered when I do a live video, if I don't know how I should, if I have to react to a video or a song on live stream, how is that done? I haven't really done my. Can you actually see me when I scroll my page or no? SMF list. Okay, I'll check that. I think you mentioned about your SMF list last time, playlist. I'll check him out. Vikings, yeah. Somebody told me about Vikings too. Okay, Last Kingdom. So, Matt, are you referring to Lord of the Rings movies to do a reaction on the movie? Or was that referring to the conversation? I'll check your playlist. Reaction on the movie. Okay, that'll be one hell of an editing process to edit a complete. Maybe I'll have to. Okay, cut short. Music in India. Interesting. Well, music in India. Okay, just like Loretta Lynn said. Music in India. Okay, apart from the filmy music that you listen to, that you hear, Bollywood and all of those film music, all of these have a base. In India, we primarily, our classical type of music, we have two main classical forms of music. One is the Carnatic music, which forms the base for South Indian Carnatic music compositions, and then we have the Hindustani, which is primarily North Indian classical form of music. So Carnatic forms the base for all the South Indian classical forms of dancing as well, and this Hindustani forms the primary base for dance forms like Kathak and etc., the North Indian forms of classical dancing. I don't know much about these forms of music, even though I had learned Carnatic music for about a year. But to any music that we sing, just like how in Western music you have your classical notes and all of that, even in Indian music we have our classical notes. That's the primary base. Foundation is from the Carnatic or the Hindustani music. Robert, you didn't know that India had her own movies? What does that mean? Are you saying you didn't know that we make movies? If that's what you were trying to refer to, no, unfortunately not. We make our movies. We've been making movies. I can't remember which year, but at least over 60 years, over 50 years. Indian movies, when did we start? Indian movie history. You will have to really, I don't remember which, I don't know. Yeah, 1913 was the first Indian movie that was released? 1913, 1913, I think. Yeah, that's from Google. So we've been into movies for a very, very long time too. And Indians are crazy about movies. A very, very crazy bunch for movies. Um, yeah, and Indian cinema halls. Now, to talk about Indian cinema halls, I don't know how it is in the United States, but I've been to the cinema halls in other Asian countries. I've been to one in Hong Kong and a few other places. They are empty, super empty, and the pricing is so expensive. But Indian cinema halls, on a weekday, you'd probably find the entire cinema hall full, completely full. And usually, our theaters, the ones in the city, big cities like mine, we have a whole complex of complete cinema theater hall, uh, which has about 8 or 9 screens inside. Let's say a particular cinema hall has about 8 to 10 screens. Trust me, when you enter there, all the 10 screens will have a movie playing, and all the 10 would be completely house full. There are many a time when you don't even get tickets. So that's the kind of craze we have for movies. So usually on a weekday, during the day, you'd primarily find youngsters, and in the evenings there are families visiting. So our primary source of entertainment is movies. So we go to the movies. I'm talking in general. We go to the movies during the weekends or in the evenings, late evenings, even a night show, which is at the last show is at about 10 o'clock or 10:30, which gets over at about 1 o'clock. And even that show sometimes is about 70% full. You know, most, in all probability, at least 60% full for a night show. And usually these screens are huge, at least about 500 people, I guess, or maybe more can watch at one single time. And yeah, that's the craze for movies, and the cinema is a booming industry. Movies, so that's one of the reasons a lot of them want to get into the movies as well. Anything British do gets good when America fixes it. Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know anything about it, so I don't want to comment anything about it. Prior to independence, yes, Vibha. Apparently, the first movie was released much prior to the independence, and moreover, I think they all started as dramas. People making dramas, not just movies, but they all most of them started as stage dramas. Post which movies started. We also have a motion movie where they don't speak at all. One of those movies that I've seen in the past. Yes, so if you ever visit India, so you should have watching a movie in a theater definitely on your bucket list, because sometimes certain movie stars, when their movies get released for the first day, it's absolutely houseful. You would find people jumping, people whistling, people making a big scene, trying to bring out their happiness for the movie release. Yes, we get into fights for the first shows of leading heroes. Yeah. In fact, when we were children, first shows, first day, first show was like a big thing. You know, if you watch a movie of your biggest star, first day, first show, getting a ticket was ruled out. You know, it's not going to be easy at all. People would just queue up throughout and then wait all, and I don't know how many hours to wait and get a ticket. But these days, things have started to get a little better with online booking. So a lot of us just use online booking. Even that, the theaters, the cinema halls, they actually block off seats so that they can only sell a few seats online, and then they have a few major seats, the top rows for people who come directly to buy a ticket. Friday the 13th. I love horror movies. I don't know why. I've always enjoyed horror movies. I guess I like the feeling of being scared and holding on to your seats and you know. I don't know, I like horror movies. I loved Evil Dead. I used to watch The Exorcist and quite a few others. The doll movie now recently, I also did a trailer reaction. Can't remember the doll, Chucky, various movies, Annabelle, and a lot of movies. I also like a lot of thriller movies. It's interesting murder mysteries. I don't know why I also enjoy watching serial killer mysteries and to see what really goes on in the minds of those people. Very interesting, and I sometimes feel, I don't know whether to feel sorry or to feel appalled by their behavior, but I guess they all go through something in their childhood for them to do something like that when they grow up. So I do enjoy watching murder mysteries, thrillers, all of those, and horror as well. Even though horrors, the zombie ones, kind of put me off. Uh, yeah, sometimes paranormal activity too. Yes, the banners are quite huge when Indian movies get released. In fact, if you all want to watch an Indian movie that has been recently received, not recently, maybe a year ago or two, that's done, it's been a box office hit, and I think it's got the one of the I think they've spent millions of dollars on that movie just for those sets. It's called Bahubali. So it's Bahubali. There are two parts. It was initially released in Telugu, and then um, and then it was subsequently dubbed in even Tamil, Malayalam, and Hindi. And yeah, so it that movie is quite a hit among in a lot of other countries too, not just in India. The Patriot, yes, The Patriot is a good one. I like that movie too. Interestingly, I think I should also do my top 10 list of movie suggestions, or you know, what my favorites were from the past. I also loved Ben Hur, probably because I have an affinity for Roman history. So Ben Hur was a good movie too, and a few others from the history. In fact, in terms of series on Netflix, I actually ended up binge watching a few of Netflix series. Like one, I'm sure Robert would be put off by this. One is the Crown. The Crown talks primarily about the British monarchy and the Queen and all of that. It's in fact the fourth season is going to get released in November, and then I also watched Versailles Palace. That's about Louis the 13, Louis the 14, that period of French history when they actually moved into the Versailles Palace. That was a good one. And I started to watch The Last Tsar, but I haven't been able to complete it as yet. So those are the few that I watched. Gettysburg. I know you hate monarchies. I know. But then I primarily watched it for another reason, being I'm a tour leader, I accompany groups, I take my groups around, I need to talk to them about history and everything about that place. So London is a place that I visit often, and therefore it's always nice to go into history books or check out movies or series or documentaries to know a little more about the history of such places, so I can talk more when I'm going on the bus. It's really hard to just sit not saying anything to your crowd. They come all the way from India only to know about places. Some people really want to know deep into the history. So it's always nice to know something more to share with people. So these series and documentaries have really helped me to understand their history better. So I guess it's almost 50 minutes. I've gone past my time as always. And I guess I should leave you all to do what you were doing for the day. And I hope to catch you all again during another live session of mine. and I will try and record another video and post it either today or tomorrow, etc. The monarchy of England is the reason English is so absolutely, absolutely. If not for them, I guess we wouldn't be where we are. And I guess the British captured almost 80%. They traded to almost 80% of the world, and they had colonies in almost every part of the world, right? So yeah, I think the only probably one of the countries that never got colonized by anyone was Thailand. I mean, at least one of those countries that I can name off my head is Thailand. They never got colonized by anyone. Johnny Cash did a song. Johnny Cash. Interestingly, you know what, Robert? Only yesterday I was checking on a suggestion I got. Somebody asked me to do a song by Johnny. I don't know if it was Johnny Cash's Cry, Cry, Cry. Yeah, so I was just reading up about Johnny Cash, and then today you're writing about Johnny Cash. God bless Robert Ailey. I'll check that song as well, just to know what that song is about. Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Vibha, thank you, Matt, and thank you, Robert, for being here. And Aruspan, I haven't forgotten you. Chicken korma video to come shortly. And others who've been live but not chatting or talking, thank you for staying live with me on this live stream. And I hope you can join again in my next video. And never too late, you can always leave your name and where you're from, just for me to know where you are from. So on that note, thank you so much for joining. You guys stay safe and have a fantastic day wherever you are in. Thank you. Sean, hi. You just said hi. Were you the other one who's been watching all along? Or did you just join? If you just joined, thank you for joining. But my 30 minutes got extended. If you guys want me to go on, continue, I can definitely stay. I have all the time. I can stay on, Sean, if you want me to. Of course, I know you're Robert. Robert. So, Sean, where are you from? I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes if you guys. I know you know, I know. I know, I know. Sean, I'm waiting. Laurel in Maryland, working. Good. Thank you for joining this live session while you're working, Laurel. I am Bai. My name is Vaidehi, and people call me Bai. And I live in India. And I'm also working at the moment, not in the real sense, but making videos and talking to y'all. Definitely. But here it's not hot, it's just humid. I've turned off the fan just so that, let me see, I can maybe, I hope it's not too loud. If it's too loud, you guys have to tell me it's too loud. Hi, Sean, thank you for joining. So Sean, if it's your first time on my channel, my name is Vaidehi. I make reaction videos. I also make a little bit of travel videos whenever I go on my work tours and otherwise. And I started to do some cooking videos, especially during this quarantine period. And yeah, I'm beginning to explore a bit on other types of content as well. Not too loud. Okay, you think I should turn it off? If I have to, I don't mind turning it off. So yeah, so that's what I do. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel as yet, please consider doing so if you want to. And I hope to make consistent videos going forward, at least till the end of the year. I'm very sure that I'm going to be at home, so I have all the time in the world. I wouldn't be traveling on work anywhere for a while at least. And yeah, so no, Robert, Once is good enough. Thank you for staying subscribed, and thank you for joining me on every live video of mine. Thank you. So, as far as my reaction videos are concerned, my very first reaction video was Disturbed. I don't know if you all have seen it. A lot of you have seen it. Well, thank you. Yeah, Chris Cornell's. I love that song. That is the first time I heard Chris Cornell. So I've also done Nightwish. I've recently, during this last 6 days, I've also um, heard Steve Vai's performance for the first time yesterday. And then prior to that, I also heard Baby Metal. Baby Metal's Give Me Chocolate song for the first time. So some people said that Baby Metal is something that I should continue and watch for a while. I will do that. Not just Baby Metal, but others as well. Raphael, yes. So Raphael is the friend who actually motivated me to start this channel. Same Raphael, right? Yes, I don't think anyone else would join. So Raphael motivated me. He's been trying to motivate me for over 2-3 years. He tried to coax me. He tried to get me into his channel. I helped him on a few videos to do the editing, and that was the very first time when I actually started to understand what editing works like. And I still remember I always gave him reasons that, you know what, my editing isn't right, my Wi-Fi is slow, I'm unable to edit, I don't know this, I don't know that, I think he probably was very, very tired of listening to my excuses. And then last year, I don't know what really happened. He somehow managed to convince me to make a reaction video, and the song Disturb was suggested by him. I don't know why he even gave me that song. Till date, I don't understand. Both of us don't understand why he gave me that song, and I decided to react to it. And that song was a life changer. I guess that song was the one that made me stay on to being in this channel and not giving up on this channel. And I don't think I will ever give up on something that I truly believe in. So, yeah, so Sean, you just subscribe again. Don't unsubscribe and subscribe, please. And YouTube tends to identify you as a scammer, and then they one fine day just remove you at my list. You don't want to be removed at my list. CSA. Sean, no, unfortunately not. I haven't been to the US. In fact, this year I did have one very, very tiny little plan that, oh, not a plan, but I have this little desire that I wanted to visit the US. But unfortunately, things worked the other way around, and the world has been going on a roller coaster ride, even though we are all at home. So maybe someday soon I will visit. No, I wouldn't say no. I will visit for sure. If not now, very soon. Raphael, have you been speechless for a long time? The US is fine and all, but the CS is beautiful. US, CS. What's CS? US is. What's CS, Robbie? I have about a minute and a half, and then I'm going to close this. So, any other questions? Confederate States of America. United States of America. Why do you want it to be called Confederate States of America? You have exactly 56 seconds to answer that, Robert, and then I'm off for the day. I need to focus on other things. Maybe make a video or two for tomorrow, because I can't give excuses for not posting videos and ending up showing up live every single day. That's not something that I want to do. It's the country that was formed in 1861. Oh, and then when did it change into United States? I'll have to read up probably. 1861. And then when did y'all get your new? I mean, when did it get its new name? whenever it is, right now, United States is what I know, and that's what I will term it until I know the real reason behind why it was the Civil War. Okay. Yeah. That brings us close to this live session. I hope you can join in my next live video. I'm not sure when, but I will try and give you all enough notice. Thank you for joining, Robert. Thank you for joining, Sean. Thank you for joining, Raphael, Matt, Villa, Aris. Since the liberals are destroying this country, I think we should have a separate channel on that someday. Thank you, Robert, for that compliment. You always give me compliments. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone. Ciao, ciao.